All right. Good morning, afternoon, and welcome to the Doug's Blog and Grill. I'm your host, Doug, here with your video blog for July 9th, 2011. So when I was going through blog material for today, I was thinking about, because like when I do this blog, I try to think about crazy sports stories or stupid people in sports that just need to be grilled. So yesterday, throughout the day, Ohio State, vacating its 12 wins, was the top spot. But then last night I was watching SportsCenter's Big Finish with, pardon the interruptions, Tony Kornheiser and Bob Ryan. And Bob Ryan just snatched the award away from Ohio State when he said the LeBron decision, which 1 year ago, yesterday was the anniversary of all that. So today is LeBron's official first day as a Heat member. Bob Ryan said LeBron's decision had no effect on the NBA. No effect at all. I mean, the Heat had their own ESPN website called the Heat Index. This had a huge impact. LeBron dissed the city of Cleveland in front of 10 million viewers. Started his own soap opera. Told everybody it was going to be easy. And then after game one, he's telling everybody Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's going to take more than a year to build the Miami Heat. But Bob Ryan saying it had no impact was just utterly ridiculous. I mean, Bob Ryan, you're a smart guy. Don't just say dumb stuff like that. You're a good sports guy. You know what you're talking about. But it had a huge, huge impact. It just, I don't know, LeBron's decision was just probably one that probably changed sports. I mean, he had 10 million people watching. He had the Knicks reps there, the Cavs reps, the Heat reps. And he says, no, and then yes. And he's going with the Heat. So he went with the Heat. The Cavs were burning stuff. Riots were taken out. Were going on in the streets. Everybody was just freaking out. Bob Ryan says it has no impact. It had an impact on society. On human society, it had an impact. Everybody somehow probably felt an aftershock from this huge decision LeBron made. I mean, it affected me because I was thinking LeBron was going to be a Knick, and I was really excited to see LeBron and Amari teamed up, but then he went to the Heat. So, I mean, LeBron's decision is a historical event. It was the most viewed decision of a sports star in world history. Everybody tuned in to see if LeBron, where he was going. Everybody cared. He knew it was a big deal. He made a joke out of it. He made a joke out of the Cavs. Bob Ryan, nice try. Huge, huge impact, though. Now we're going to move on to my debate that I talked about on Thursday night. I was talking about what's more impressive and what is more looked at for the Hall of Fame. 3,000 hits or 600 home runs. And really, when it comes to the Hall of Fame topic, neither one can truly just be looked at for the Hall of Fame. It's got to be a complete body of work. You got to be a good person. You got to win. You got to play defense. You got to hit. You got to do all the aspects of the game. The social aspect, not the social aspect. I guess you'd say like the life aspect, the fielding aspect, and the batting aspect. You got to have those three. So 3,000 hits, I'd say, is probably easier to get. 28. Jeter will be the 28th man to have 3,000 hits. Some guys didn't even make it to 3,000 hits. He passed the guy a couple months ago who back in the 60s was approaching 3,000 hits. He stopped at 2,985. He just quit. He said they talked to him this past year and people said, well, why didn't you stick around for 3,000 hits? He said he didn't know it was really that important. I mean, now the media just surrounds this stuff, looks for these, and tries to find 3,000 hits. I mean, one interesting thing I would say is that of these two, 3,000 hits or 600 home runs, two Yankees have had these feats. Derek Jeter will be the first Yankee with 3,000 hits. But A-Rod hit his 600th home run as a Yankee, as did Babe Ruth. So those two guys both reached those feats with the Yankees, and no Yankee has yet hit 3,000 hits. They show a stat where, I don't know, I think 4 or 5 guys have hit 3,000 hits that have played for the Yankees. But I mean, 3,000 hits I'd say is more impressive. You gotta be durable. You gotta be able to play a long, long time. I mean, 600 home runs. You can hit 600 home runs in what? Let's say 60 home runs a year for 10 years. That's no big deal. That's 600. Well, 60 home runs, I guess, is a big deal, but for 10 seasons, I mean, people have put up numbers close to that. All right, if you say 50 home runs, then what? What's that, 12 years? 12 years. But if you want to do 3,000 hits, you got to have 200 hits for 15 years. That's ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know if Ichiro's going to get to 3,000 hits, but he's got 200 hit seasons all over. He's had 200 hits for like 10 years, but he played so many years before in the Japanese baseball league, then coming over, hits don't really transfer. He's a good player, good guy. I think 3,000 hits is more impressive. I also think that 600 home runs is more of a Hall of Fame credential. Because I mean, Craig Biggio, he's got 3,000 hits, but he doesn't really have the rest of the body of work to get him into the Hall of Fame. So that's what I think is going to happen there. All right, AL East update. Yankees were rained out last night. Jeter's 3,000 hits. Chase put on hold. Talk about that later. Red Sox are up 1 game on the Yankees. The Yankees take on the Rays today at 1:05. It's a 1:05 first pitch. A.J. Burnett, 8-7, 4.12, taking on David Price, who was also 8-7, but with a 3.56 ERA. Jeter will lead off today, and he's 2 hits shy, as we mentioned. Another Yankee note, A-Rod and Jeter yesterday both pulled out of the All-Star game. They're not going to be playing in an All-Star game, so that takes out 3 Yankees. No Jeter, no A-Rod, no Mariano. So you'll see Granderson and Cano in the All-Star game as the Yankee reps, and Russell Martin as the backup catcher. So you'll get to see 3 of the Yankees in the All-Star game. Of course, check out the Home Run Derby on Monday night. Robinson Cano's in that. We're going to talk about the Home Run Derby actually on Monday, so that's worth checking out. Red Sox are at home against Baltimore tonight. It's a 7:10 first pitch. John Lackey, 5-8, 7.47. John Lackey, this guy's just having a rough go of it. I mean, can't get quality starts, is still kind of not healthy, isn't getting good starts, high ERA, not really winning a whole lot of ball games. Kind of a bust. Kind of like a Carl Pavano, except minus the injuries right now if you compare it to the Yankees. And then we got Alfred Simone, 1-1, 4.64 ERA. Check that out. Now time to go to the iPod, and this part of the program is brought to you by the ESPN Score Center app. It's a free app on the Apple Store. Check it out. Pick your favorite teams. You can follow them all through that. Let that load. Well, I make a little note here. Home Run Derby. We're going to talk about that on Monday night, so tune in for that. iPod time. Let's see what we got here. Games this afternoon. All right, Tampa and the Yankees, of course. Jeter is 2 hits shy. England and France in the Women's World Cup are tied up at 0 in the 20th minute. This afternoon, we got the Braves at the Phillies. That's the Fox game. It's a 4:10 start. Check that out. Cliff Lee going up against Tommy Hanson. Cliff Lee's been very hot. 6-1 in his last 7 starts. Check that out. Reds taking on the Brewers at 7:10. Brian Braun is likely to come back after straining his calf. And then tonight, of course, we got the Kentucky Speedway opener for NASCAR. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series heads to Kentucky tonight. And that's going to be a good race. Kyle Busch sitting on the pole there, so check that one out. That race starts around, I believe coverage starts for that at 7:30. So check that out. Inaugural race at Kentucky Speedway. Kyle Busch fast. Finished 3rd last night. Brad Keselowski, of course, won the nationwide race. So check this stuff out. We'll be back on Monday. We're going to be back on Monday with more stuff about Home Run Derby. We're going to talk All-Star Game. Maybe we'll have some more lockout news. Darren Williams is going to Turkey to play. So that's a no. I just want you guys to really enjoy this. Give me feedback. Leave me comments. Leave me mail. Just tell people about this. Let them watch it. thanks for checking me out today. Hope you guys all have a really, really nice weekend, and we will see you guys all on, I believe, oh yeah, we're going to do another one of these Mondays, so check that out. Alright, thank you for checking us out. I'm out.